what nonsense, that's absolute crap. Hey, don't ever say these words if you don't believe someone when they say something, because it's really rude. So don't be arrogant and rude. I have a few ways that you could tell someone, I don't believe you. So imagine if a friend of mine tells me, you know, this handsome guy has seen you at the library and he has the hots for you and has a crush on you, and I know she's faking, so I'll tell her, yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, right is a sarcastic way of saying, I don't believe you. So maybe you could use it with your friends or, you know, with a few family members whom you're close to, but definitely not at work, yeah? So don't ever use, yeah, right, because it's really sarcastic. You could also say, you're kidding. So if I react to my friend and say, you're kidding. Now this is a very nice way to say, I don't believe you. Instead of saying you're lying or calling someone a liar, you just say that you're joking. So it's not that you're lying, but you're joking. It's a nicer way to say that you're lying and I don't believe you. So you can always say kidding. Kidding means joking. Okay. So you're right is sarcastic. You're kidding is a lighter way of saying that I don't believe you, because you put it as you're joking. Now, another way is you're pulling my leg. This is similar to you're kidding. So when you don't believe something or you just feel too taken aback that you feel the person is not speaking complete truth, you can say you're pulling my leg. It's like you're just pulling a fast one on me, you're teasing me. Okay, so then the reaction that the person gives you will let you know whether they are actually speaking the truth or not. Okay, so this is a good way to find out whether or confirm whether what the person is saying is the truth or not. You can say, hey, you're just pulling my leg, I know that. That means you're teasing me or you're pulling a fast one on me. Okay. Now there are people who like to exaggerate, yeah. So small things, they make it sound big by really adding in some spice to the story. And if you just, your heart just doesn't believe what they are saying, and you know it's kind of fabricated, and they're kind of you know, pushing it too far, you could always say, hey, you know, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I don't think it is that way. The minute you use exaggeration, it means that they are actually adding a lot of spice to the news or whatever they are telling you. So something that you don't believe 100%, you know, partially could be right, but the other things are quite added on. You could always say, oh really, I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Okay, that means they're adding on a bit too much. Yes, so well, if you know someone is exaggerating and has the habit of adding a lot of things, just use this phrase to say, I don't believe you completely. Okay, now there are people who kind of lie very directly, or maybe you just catch the lie and you can't say, hey, you're a liar, stop lying. Don't say such things. What you could say is, he's stretching the truth. Now imagine if you stretch something, yeah, it spreads and it kind of, you know, doesn't have the same charm. So he's stretching the truth means he is lying. Okay, so you don't use the word lying because it's a little offensive and you may land up in an ugly argument, which I'm sure you don't want to. So well, play it safe. Say, hey, I think he's stretching the truth. All right, that means I don't believe what he's saying. So friends, see the situation and then decide what phrase you could use when you want to say, I don't believe you. Well, the next one is, he's not telling the whole truth. Now, there is a story that you've heard or some incident your friend talks about. Maybe she doesn't want to share the entire thing with you, so she kind of edits and adds in her own thing, okay? So it's kind of a mix, partially the truth, but not entirely. So when you want to say that it is like that, I mean it's partially true, you just say he's not telling the whole truth, okay? So sometimes teenagers face certain situations, maybe breakups, maybe minor accidents, and they don't want to tell their parents the full truth because probably the fear of being yelled at by their parents. So they kind of fabricate the story. Fabricate means, they kind of edit and add their own thing to the story. And when parents listen to it, they're smart, they experience, they say, I'm sure you're not telling me the whole truth. That means yes, partially it is true, but a lot of it is not. So whole means entirely, the complete truth, okay? Well, friends, I think all of us do this, and we edit, the things that we need to tell depending on, as per our convenience. So, well, most of the times we actually don't speak the whole truth, right? Okay, she's being economical with the truth. Okay, this is actually means that the person is not speaking the truth. So, a very, very nice, polite, and a sugar-coated way of saying, hey, you're lying, I don't believe you, okay? She's being economical with the truth means she is lying, or either she's again not speaking the entire truth. So nice way, something you could use at work also. Well, you could use in all situations with all people. She is being economical with the truth. Again, she is not speaking the truth or she is lying. Yes, friends? Okay. So you're someone who's a good listener. You listen to a whole story that your friend or a colleague is narrating to you, and you kind of discuss it with a third person and says, I don't know. I mean, the story that Mark just said is fishy, or it sounds fishy. Now, fishy means something is amiss. Something is just not right. There is something in the story that is not the truth, and I kind of don't believe it. So when something is fishy means you suspect that it's not the truth, there is something amiss, and I don't know, it just doesn't click with you. So, well, if you face this kind of situation often, you could always say, I'm not too sure, the story is a bit fishy, yeah, or it sounds fishy. Okay, and well, if you're someone who's blunt, outspoken, and with low patience and tolerance, and you've had enough for the day, there are people who say, what nonsense, that's an outright lie. Now this is, well, again, I would suggest not to use something like this, but if you have evidence, you catch someone red-handed, you could always say, hey, that's an outright lie, stop lying. Okay, so outright lie means upfront the person is lying, okay, a clear lie, a clear visible lie, a clearly visible lie, okay. So, well, again, avoid using it unless you have that kind of evidence. You could go ahead and use it. So remember, friends, when you want to tell someone, I don't believe you, think whom you want to say to, think of the situation, the place, and well, go ahead and use one of these phrases that you learned in today's lesson. Well, I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.